Are you aware that over 90% of people underestimate their potential? Do you know what it takes to actualize that your wildest dream? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you tips that will help you in choosing the right career path. According to statistics, Africa has over 453 million youths from the age of 15 to 35, and each year 10 to 12 million of them are ready to enter into the workforce. But guess what? The government only provides 3.2 million work opportunities for them. So what happens to the rest of them? And according to research, over 72% of African youth are suffering from identity crisis. Hello my friends, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're watching from. If today is your first time clicking on YouTube or see me on your screen, thank you so much. Do well to click on the subscribe button, share and comment. In today's video, we'll be talking about paths to choosing the right career. You know, it's right time we will come to the conclusion or understand that going to school is not a guarantee that one will be successful. Right? So a number of times we've seen some youths who have zeal and energy to work, but oftentimes you find out that they don't know what they want to do or where they can channel their energy into. So here I'm going to give you tips on what to do in order to identify with your purpose of existence. So stick around with me, and guess what? The last tip is actually my favorite. Stay tuned to the last, you will not regret it. The first tips we are going to look into is self-assessment. Self-assessment is reflecting on your weakness and your strength. Yes, you need to assess yourself to know the kind of thing you can do and the things you cannot do. Let's take for instance, for me now, no matter how I want to be successful in life, I would not want to be a driver. Yes, because based on my own instincts and my human capacity and choice, I never liked transportation by road. So no matter what you want to push me into, I can never get involved in becoming a driver. So you need to assess yourself, know where your energy can take you, know the kind of things, how your body is wired, know what your body can carry, know the things that your body is fit with. If you have physical strength, that everybody is not gifted with physical strength and a lot. So it's time you assess yourself and reflect on your weaknesses and on your strengths. Okay? The second one is passion and purpose. Here it talks about discovering the activities that motivates you. Discovering the activities that motivates you. What are you passionate about? What is that thing you can do more better than every other person around you? And you cannot find it hectic or you don't find it tedious or anything. You enjoy doing it. What are those activities that you enjoy doing? Yes, you need to discover your passion and your purpose. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What is that thing that I can do from morning to night without getting tired? You need to discover those things. You know, some persons, it could be fashion. Maybe your sisters are watching football in the parlor or anything. Maybe during the extra time for the football, they started showing adverts for fashion and everything. The moment the fashion shows came up, there's something about you that comes to life. Like, what is that thing that makes you come alive? What is that activities? Yes. These are the areas you need to look into, the passion and purpose of existing. You know, everything in this life actually has purpose, right? Of course. The purpose for making a telephone is to make call and to access internet and a whole lot. Yes, for you to know what you are passionate about, you need to pay attention to the activities that makes you feel more like yourself. Where, aside from the course you are studying, what makes you feel more like yourself? A number of times I talk to some medical students, some of them are nurses and all that. You see that this person is studying nursing, but inside there is something about fashion. Whenever you talk about fashion, she comes alive. You see that for professional purposes, yes, she's studying nursing, but she's not as interested when it has to do with fashion. You need to pay attention to the activities that motivates you, that makes you come alive, where you feel more like yourself. Ask yourself this question: what makes me come alive? What is that thing that I can do without getting tired? What is that thing that I love doing at every given point in my life? These are areas you need to pay attention to. The next tip is career goals. Yes, setting up a career goal. Many a times people will talk about setting up career goals. What does it say? It simply means drawing a skeleton of what you want for yourself in that career path you are choosing, the level you want to attain. Okay, in the next 5 years, if I choose to be a nurse, where will I be working in the next 5 years? Where will I be working in the next 10 years? You need to have a skeleton written down about what you want for yourself. Career goals. Yes, it's very important that you set your career goal. It serves as a yardstick in your navigating towards your path as regards choosing your career. It's very essential that you choose your career goal. It's very important. Think outside the box. What do I want for myself? How can I get this involved? How can I do this? How can I do that? Have a career goal. It's very essential. When you must have discovered yourself and you've known your personal strength, you've discovered yourself, now you set out your goal in that your decided or that area of career you want for yourself, right? So the next tip we're going to look into, tip is education and training. Yes, there is no way you could be successful in any sector without having the basic knowledge in that field. For you to be successful in any field of choice, you must engage yourself in formal and informal training, teachings in that respective field. You must engage yourself in an intensive teachings. And how would you do that? Reach out to people that are in that field already. Talk to your predecessors, anybody at all. You must gain the basic knowledge you need. It's one thing to have a passion for a particular profession. It's another thing to engage into gaining knowledge, educational knowledge in that field of choice. You must acquire knowledge, whether formal or informal. You must acquire knowledge, because knowledge is what makes the difference. What makes the difference in this whole thing is intentionality. You need to be very intentional about what you want for yourself, and for that reason you need some level of knowledge in that field of choice. Assuming you want to be a mechanic, a motor mechanic, there is no way you could come out and start fixing people's car without passing through the intensive training of learning the workings and how the engines work. Yes, you need some level of teachings, learning, formal or informal, in order to be a pro in that your field of choice. So educational skills, educational training is very essential in your path to career. Very, very important. You need it. The next is career explorations. Yes, career explorations. You need to do some researches. You need to know what are needed in that your career of choice. Let's take for instance, I'm a photographer. I am a lifestyle, a portrait and event photographer. And in each time we talk about photography is actually a compound word. It's very broad. Inside the word photography, we have different niches and genres in photography. We have wildlife photographers, we have event photographers, we have sport photographers, we have commercial photographers, we have portrait photographers. We have a whole lot of them. For me, I am I'm a portrait, a lifestyle and an event photographer. So for someone that wants to be a photographer, you could say, oh, I want to be a photographer. You need to come into the industry and do some explorations and know the niche you identify with. Would you want to be a wildlife photographer? Would you want to be an event photographer? Would you want to be a documentary photographer? And these things are the things that will help you to know the necessary equipment to get. Someone that wants to be a wildlife photographer, you cannot go and start getting a macro lens. Macro lenses are for commercial purposes, for those that are shooting commercials. Someone that want to get that want to be a sport photographer, you don't have any business with a Nifty 50. Yes, Nifty 50 is for portrait photographers. So you need to explore your area or the profession or the career, the industry you want to get involved in. Know the things that works there. Know what you want to do and the things you want to do. Just like a writer, right? Everybody can actually write, but writings are in different categories. Some people specialize on fiction, some people specialize on inspirational things. So you need to explore. Let that be an exploration. Then you know where you fit in. Know what best works for you. Yes, you have to explore the industry. Very important. The next is industrial research. You know, a number of times people will just come out and jump into some industry without knowing the things that are involved in it. This one is slightly out of exploration, right? Let's take, for instance, assuming you are a nursing student, or after your graduation, you feel like all there is about nursing is just going to the hospital and identifying with your patient and all that. No, you need to do some research and know the pays. You know, there are different paychecks from different job description. People, the caregivers earn more higher than some other genres of nurses. And again, you need to, when you talk about research, you think of location, the NGOs to work with, the type of hospitals. People that works with private hospitals does not have the same paycheck as those that work with government parastatals. Those that work with government parastatals does not have the same paycheck with those that works with NGOs. Then those that work with NGOs do not have the same paycheck with those that works as a caregiver. You need to do some research on your industry. I'm using nurse as a case study and know what works in the industry of nurses. Yes, very important. This one is slightly above from exploration. Exploration, we talk about maybe knowing the type of nurse you want to become. If you want to become a midwife, if you want to become, you get the point now. About the things that works. Know where opportunities lies for you. Know the best location for you to explore yourself and meet more people, meet more opportunities and make more money. Yes, you need to do a proper and underground research in your field of choice. It's very, very essential. Okay, the next on our tip is networking. Yes, networking. What is networking? Networking means building strategic relationships. Building strategic relationship with people, professionals in that industry of choice. Meet people, have a mutual relationship, go and build relationship with people that are already in that industry you've selected or you've chosen. Anything you want to become in this life, someone else has already become that. Yes, someone else has already done that. So for you not to make the kind of mistake those people made and everything, you need to go to them, have a network with them. Networking simply means building relationships with people, professionals in that your field of choice. You need to build relationship. Is very important. Even as a nurse, even as a medical doctor, no matter what, any choice of course you are into, you need to build relationship. Relationship is what matters. In these last days, it's not just about who you know, it's about who knows you. Yes, you need to build a strategic relationship with people. The question is, when the need of what you are doing comes up, who will stand in for you? So you need to build a relationship with people already in the industry and with people around so that you can get referrals. It's not just about who you know, it's about who knows you. Let me tell you guys a story. There was a time in my photo studio when a particular girl came to my studio to have a photo section. You know, the way the girl came, she was like, oh, I've heard of you, I heard that you're a good photographer, this, that one, I want to take a picture. So when she entered the studio, the money she was proposing for the photo shoot was nothing close to what I used to charge. But because of the way she was very submissive, and her communication skill was very welcoming, I said, okay, I just do the photo shoot for her. I did a picture, and I don't even do too much. I just do the basic and give her the picture. Do you know that singular girl gave me one of the biggest contracts I've ever had in all my photographing career? The lady turned to have an influence over her elder sisters. So guess what? Her elder sister's wedding was coming some months after we made the photo shoot. She referred her to me, and based on the influence she has on her sister, she was like, this guy is good, this, that. She made her sister choose me to cover her wedding. So in this job, in this career, whatever, you need to build networks. You need to build quality relationships. That matters a lot. It's very essential. The next tip is mentorship. Mentorship, very essential. It's very, very essential. Like I said before, no matter the career you want to choose in this life, no matter the areas you want to get involved in, someone else is already doing that. You need to ask questions. You need to meet people and do an accountability check with them. One of the reasons for mentorship is for directions. Yes, you need to submit to someone. You need to do an accountability check with someone. Someone needs to check up on what you are doing. You need to submit under someone. Nobody rises at the top all by himself. You need to work on other people's successes. You need to thrive. Yes, it's very essential that you have someone you call a mentor in that your field of choice. You need to look up to. You have someone you look up to. It's very, very important. You cannot just come out and get involved in the industry and not know what they're doing. Any career of choice at all. If you're choosing a mentor, make sure that the person you are choosing resonates with what you are choosing for yourself. You cannot be a football, or you don't want to be a footballer, and you went and choose a tennis player as your mentor. No. If you are choosing a mentor, ensure that the person you are choosing resonates with the genre you are choosing for yourself. A number of times we have this thing in the photography industry. You see someone that does wedding photography, you will go as far as choosing someone that does wildlife photography as a mentor. It does not match. You will go to his page, you saw the way he collaborates with the animals in Snap and everything, and you say, oh, this is my mentor. Things like that does not work. The camera settings he has for his photographing, he uses to photograph animals, could not be the same to photograph weddings and all that. So you need to choose a wedding photographer that is doing well also as your mentor. So it's very essential that you choose someone that is also in the industry where you are choosing the thing you do as your mentor. It's very important. Now, the next tip is, this is my favorite, as I promise you people. The next tip is balance. Yes, work balance. Work balance is very essential that you bring a kind of equilibrium in your work and your personal life. You don't clash the both together. If not, you're going to break down. You need to have a work and a family balance. This thing happens to me a lot. I never took it to cognizance or whatever. I work both when I needed to be with some certain level of persons, when I needed to be in some certain places. I work to the point that my relational life got messed up. If you don't bring about balance in your personal life and your workspace, you see that your work you are doing will overshadow your personal life and a lot of people might get hurt at the same time. You need to bring about a balance in whatever you are doing. If you're a married person, everything at work stays at work, everything at home stays at home. You don't need to bring both together. It's not a good thing to do. So many of us don't know how to bring about balance. So many of us don't know how to bring about equilibrium in our personal life and in our working life. It's very, very essential to bring about work Family Balance. That is what I call it. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. If you've not subscribed, do well to hit on the subscription button, and I will be uploading the second part of these tips. Right, I have another 10 tips coming that I needed to say, but for this episode I just want to give these 10 tips so that it will help you to discover who you are and your right path to career. Thank you. My name is Guloko Okonkwo. Do well to subscribe, share, comment, and see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.